Is the kids in the background going crazy. Gonna attempt to cut and shorten a Yoshimura R77 exhaust pipe. Actually, I had already worked on one, went really well. Just making a video for future purposes. Obviously, you get the pipe off the bike. You got 3 sets of rivets in the front, 3 sets on the other side. You got 4 in the back here that all need to be drilled out to separate the canister. So we'll do that and then I'll come back and go from there. Alright, so I drilled out the front rivets. Those are the straps. As you can see, I started drilling these out. It's basically a 3/16 drill bit. What you want to do is get it to where it pops the rivets. Some of them are real easy. However, sometimes you have an issue. I got one going on here that's giving me an issue. And once I get this separated, then I'll take the canister apart and come back to the video and show that part with the canister open. Alright, so we're back. I got all the rivets drilled out. A little more. There's some heat silicone on here that you want to break the seal. And these lock springs, I took these off, which holds this pipe part together for the canister. And the other one that I did, like I said, didn't have this issue. It's starting to come apart, so I have to make sure we get that back in so I can put those springs back on. But basically, now take a rubber mallet and on those hooks. You can use them as a beater with a rubber mallet to pull this canister apart. Wait till you see what's inside. You'll see why it's taking so long to actually get this apart. All the rivets are going to fall out. So there you go. You got your webbing for your heat shield that we'll take off when we cut down the insert. Obviously, you got your canister. This piece, what I did last time was basically reverse the rubber mallet, stick your hand in there, hit it around the edges. The other side comes out, open canister. I already have my measurements for what the customer wanted. So I'm going to measure out 7 inches, cut at 7. My insert, when I get back to it on the next video, will be at 6. But basically this is what you have. Alright, Sawzall's weapon of my choice. This piece is the insert coupler for what goes in the tip. So you got to cut this off. Obviously you're cutting down the inside. It was tack welded on. You get it all back together. But this is an important piece. So you got to cut that off. So we have for the insert. This is your inside baffle for your heat. There's a metal mesh on here. Very complicated on getting it off. It's very tight. It's not much to. The other one I cut right through it, so we're going to do that exact same thing on this one here. Not a big stress factor. If you want to put this nipple back on, you got to peel it back to get to this inside cage. So we're going to go ahead. Said I got this marked out from the other one. We're going to measure 7 inches. To wax the oil crown. Go ahead and make my mark. 7. We'll go ahead and cut that. We'll come back, get my 6 off the center, and we'll go ahead and start putting it back together. Alright, so we made our cut at 7 inches. The outside, it's a sharp edge, so I'm just going to take my flat half-round file. Go ahead and get all that smooth out. Get it in the corners. We get all that cleaned up. Then we'll go ahead and cut the middle insert. in the baffles, heat baffles. Put the nipple, we'll get everything back in there. I'll show you. I just take a screwdriver, basically beat this off and get in there with some small needle nose and basically rock it, break all the weld points off of it, clean that whole edge up. So far that's where we're at. Alright, so here we go. Ended up cutting the inside baffle off with the mesh on it with a Sawzall, my tool of choice. Keys bandsaw. Went ahead and cleaned up all the edges from where it was tacked on before. And what we're going to do is reinsert that there so it will coupler the end piece, which is a carbon fiber set, back onto the muffler. I'll do this here momentarily. Just wanted to show you how we got that situated. Cut down the heat shield, get that all put back together, put some rivets on it, get it all put back where it's supposed to be, and then we'll take it over and put it on the bike and see how it sounds. Alright, so got the mesh here, and how we're gonna do this is basically we got the fill on both sides. It's hard. Sorry about that. I apologize. My phone is on the charger here, and what we're gonna do is give a little more, so I'm gonna end up cutting it probably about there because it's gonna stuff in there really tight, as you saw how it was when it came out. We'll go ahead and do that and move on to the next point. Alright, so we got this part back on here. Baffles back inside, nipples on. We're ready to mark our rivet holes. And you want to go around and mark these holes where they're at, so when you go to re-drill, you will know where to drill at, so you don't bang it on, get it all tight, and then not know where they're at. Once we get this all situated and back on, go ahead and mark those last ones and cut the baffle down. We'll be good. Start putting it back together. Alright, so there we go. Got everything back inside. I'm going to go ahead and do these rivets on this side first because they're already lined up where they go from original, because that's not the side we cut off. Everything is back intact for the most part. To see down in there, we've got the nipple and the chain all the way down to where it meets up real nice. Very solid. It's a good pipe. I recommend, it's taking me a little longer. It's about an hour and a half or so. That's going to be using a chop saw, sawzall, and a few other things. If you're working in a regular shop where you have access to better tools, table grinders, air tools and whatnot, probably looking at about a 30 to 45 minute job. So let me go ahead and keep going with this. Put those first rivets in, and I'll drill out. We'll have the other rivets, and we'll be looking really good. Alright, so drilled out the rivets where the placements were from marking it. Everything's back together, 4 in the back. We got the 6 in the front with the clamps. And there you go, man. It looks like a factory stabby there. It's going to be nice to hear what they sound like. It's actually going on a Hayabusa, so there is 2 of them. It's been fun. So yeah, let me get the rest of this going, get them on the bike, and see what it sounds like. The other bike that I had is mine. This is what I cut off of a D&D on my R6, and it came out really nice looking, and it